What's up, folks? I don't know why not in the right lighting there. There we go. What's up, good people? How's everybody doing? Hope everybody is well. Camera still seems a little funny. There we go. I think we all right there. Listen, man. I'm not surprised. I hope you guys are not surprised either. Looks like my camera's off. There we go. Let me raise myself up there a little bit, man. I don't know what's going on. Let me lighten it. There we go. There we go. So welcome, folks. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody is well. Thanks for tuning in to the latest episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, and let me just say, I see a whole bunch of notifications going off, man. I don't know if that's real or not, but it seems like quite a few subscriptions and yeah, I think this is from an old stream, so don't mind those notifications there, guys. I don't know why it's ringing off like that. It's very strange. Speaking of which, I'm about to change my streaming platform anyway. Instead of using OBS, I'll actually be using Stream Elements. I think that's a more intuitive program. So, I think I'm going to go to Stream Elements with the original OBS instead of using what I'm using here, which is OBS Stream Labs. But let me, I'm going to cut off this notification box for a minute because it definitely seems to be tripping. Give me a second, guys. I don't know why it's doing that. It's a little strange. I don't know why it is doing that. But how's everybody doing, man? I hope you guys are well. I will cut the notification back on in a moment because I don't want to miss anyone who may actually donate here live on the show. But we got a lot to get into, guys. A lot to get into. Again, guys, I apologize that you keep seeing me adjust the lighting and things like that. I don't know. Seems like, I don't know, my light is doing some weird stuff here. I even see I got a little nonsense going on behind me. But whatever, man. Let's make it happen. First and foremost, we're going to say hello to the early commenters. You guys know how I do. I always read a few of the first names, the first people who came through and was probably in the chat before I even started. So I want to say hello to you guys. And then we'll get right into some of the news, man. I'm going to be brief tonight. I say that all the time, right? But I'm going to try to be very brief because I've got a lot going on, even behind me. If you guys were able to see behind me and not see the green screen that's behind me, I got a new desk that I'm putting together tonight. Put it together. I just got to, put it up for the most part. Happy about that. And then, we got painter coming tomorrow. So we got to, take furniture out of the bedrooms and a lot I got to do tonight, man. So I really need to be in and out. But I was not going to miss the opportunity to speak to my lovely family. So let's get into it, man. First and foremost, Mr. ABS, I'm on Bozeman, Mr. Fleetwood, Jared Devil, Fonny Boy. Haven't seen that before, so welcome if you're a new commenter. Lyle McCombs, Aaron Morris, Banor Johnson, Slid Rid, Paul Bullock. Paul, I haven't seen you in a while, man. Welcome back. And, some of you guys watch and don't comment. So, if I say that and you've been around, don't take it personal. Some names I haven't seen in a while. Who else we got in here, man? Ollie Howard, Y Diggy. Hello, Miss Destiny. How you doing this evening? Jordan Mid, Jay German, Joshua Shields. Hello, Miss Lanisha. How you doing this evening? Thank you, Lanisha. I was about to actually email you back earlier today, and I lost the track of time, but I want to say thank you in front of everyone for your donation. I definitely appreciate that. Lanisha, like others, they donate offline. They don't do it on YouTube. So I appreciate that, Lanisha. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I also shared your message with Tony and Kenyon as you had kind words to say to those brothers. So we thank you. Always appreciate it. Tony Grant, James Ramsey, my good brother Kenyon in the building. And look, he's already commenting to Lanisha. Jacob Billinger, and we'll stop at Rigstill 1021. All right, folks. Before I start, I'm going to do a couple things. I'm going to take a sip of water, and I'm actually looking at Twitter as we speak to make sure I didn't miss anything that may have broke. Let's see. Let's make sure nothing broke. Emmanuel Sanders to the Bills. Interesting. It's not really still in news, but kinda. Let's see what else. Anything else Steeler related that I did miss that I don't have in the that I don't have there in the description? Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think so. That was an interesting side note here that I'm going to say about one player that we'll talk about here in a moment. I'm going to keep this up on the screen. But all right, guys, let's talk about it, shall we? Wow. Listen, Steeler Nation. Let me get my sip of water, and then I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a small speech. Don't be so surprised, Steeler Nation. A lot of the moves that happen already, and free agency officially starts tomorrow, but all of the moves that happened already were pretty expected. I know it's in our hearts. We think with our hearts sometimes when it comes to our beloved Steelers. But guys, you have to pay attention to everything that's going on. Every single thing, right? It's not just your love for the team, and it's not just whether the player loves the team, and it's a business. It is a business. That's number one, and we'll talk a little more about that as I get into the players. But number two, why are we surprised? Where have you guys been? Now, like I said, I don't pick on anyone. It's a family affair here. We're all just average fans, and that's, the reason for you newcomers who may see this. This is the reason why I even started doing this perspective of the average fan. However, I will say maybe I'm not necessarily the average fan because I realize the average fan doesn't pay attention all the time to like schemes that's being ran and play calls and personnel and cap space. So I guess I wouldn't be an average fan. And there's a lot of people that watch the show, Kenyon and Tony and others here in the chat, Debbie and, Lanisha and Destiny, even the ladies in the chat that seem to be a little above average when it comes to being a fan, and they understand the ins and outs, right? But the point of this show was to have a place where we can give our thoughts and opinions, and I can involve the community. We're not media. I'm not a media pundit. I don't say what's the thing to say. I don't jump on the stories and all that nonsense. I speak from the average fan's perspective for the most part. But I have to pick on you a little bit if you didn't expect any of this. Where have you been? We have been talking about cap space for a long time. Me in particular, here on this show and others. I'm sure a lot of you guys follow Steelers Depot. Shout outs to Alex Kazur and Dave Bryan. We've been saying this stuff for months. And if we're being modest, we've at least been saying it for the last 3 to 4 weeks. So why is it a surprise? I don't get it. But let's talk about some of these things really quick. Kevin Colbert, we'll talk about that first. So Kevin Colbert got extended. I don't know if you call it news. I don't know if you call it being surprised or not surprised. I mean, Kevin Colbert has been on his 1-year deals for the last 5 years, it seems like now. He even said it when he talked to Missy Matthews and the media that, we'll see what happens when the time comes. And, we figured maybe he'd extend, maybe he won't. But he's been extended again through the 2022 draft. So we'll see how that goes. But, if you like Kevin Colbert, great. If you guys were ready to move on from Kevin Colbert, I guess it wasn't the best news for you. But, that's the only real piece of news there in terms of signees outside of, here's another one. I'm just looking at my notes, guys, so forgive me. Zach Banner. We know Zach Banner is officially back signed with the team now. And in my opinion, sorry for that, guys. In my opinion, I'm happy for him. I'm happy for Zach Banner. And excuse me, guys. I keep looking down, looking at my notes, man. So y'all know how unorthodox I am. And I think that's what you guys like about my style. Just making sure I don't miss anything. I don't know. I'm happy for him. If you know his story, for him one time being like almost I think he was 400 pounds and, on his way out of football and working his way back in shape and, working his way onto a roster. I'm excited to see what he can do. I'm sure he's motivated after his injury. But, again, how big were we on Zach Banner before this past season, before his injury? So it's not saying, I'm not saying that was an earth-shattering re-signing. Zach Banner, if you happen to see this is not a disrespect to you. I'm just keeping it in perspective, right? It is what it is. I'm happy for him. He's a big, giant, mammoth human being. So I have to believe that he has some potential to knock some guys on their rear. We all remembered it, not this past season, but the season before that when he was, the whole running thing of 72 was eligible. And I thought he did a serviceable job when he came in and did that. He seemed to be doing decent even this past season before he got injured. So, of course, and we're thin at the offensive line position. So, of course, I'm happy for him. But again, like I said, it's not an earth-shattering, type of situation, right? Great. Happy to have him back. We'll see what happens. Let me get to my other notes here. Next up, Matt Feiler. Matt Feiler signs a 3-year, $21 million deal. And he goes to the Chargers. And again, there was speculation that maybe he does follow Sean Charette. Again, got to give Steelers Depot credit for that. They called that out early. He happens to follow his now ex-coach to the Chargers. And shout outs to him. I mean, listen, only in America, right? Where else can you be backup player? I think he was undrafted. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not all the way familiar, but I think he was an undrafted guy. And if he wasn't undrafted, he wasn't drafted high. He was a backup, practice squad guy one time, backup, and then having to start. And off of that, you are able to become $21 million richer. Now, we'll see if he gets the entire $21 million, but you guys get the gist of what I'm saying. That's amazing. I'm never upset. I'm never not in favor of players getting their money. They play a brutal sport. The owners make billions. So if their employees can make millions of dollars, I'm happy for them. That's the career path that they chose, but not only chose, they were able to succeed in. So I'm happy for that. I see fans a lot of times, trashing players, and I don't understand it. Like, I just don't get that mentality. Like, we don't know these people personally. I'm pretty sure most of us can't do better than them on the football field. So I don't get that disdain for players sometimes when I don't know. But either way, I'm ecstatic and excited for Matt Feiler. Kudos to you. But it sucks for us, right? Because whether you hated or loved him, he was a piece. And again, we are thinning out at the offensive line position. We already know Marquise Pouncey is no more. Who's next? Steelers are able to retain Cam Sutton. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. We desperately needed to do that, man. We needed to retain. We needed to keep one of those guys. And if I'm saying one of those guys, y'all already know where I'm going. And if you looked at the thumbnail, you already know where I'm going. But, hey, listen, I like Cam Sutton a lot. Cam Sutton has an opportunity now to earn some money, right? We got him for, what do we got? A 2-year, $9 million deal. No, excuse me. Yeah. $2 million, $9 million. Very cheap, the way, from what I'm hearing, the way they structured it as a 3.5 or so as a signing bonus. And I think he's going to play on $1 million as his, his actual salary during the season. Very cheap, very effective, way to finesse the cap for the Steelers, but also putting a little money in his pocket. I mean, hey, a few $1 million is a few $1 million, right? You would take that, right? And he has an opportunity, man, I'm sure he's going to play as a nickel unless, the Steelers do something in the draft and they find a guy and, but I would assume that he is going to be the starting nickel. The rotation piece may come in the dime scenario. Because again, when Hilton was there, we all know there was a lot of times that we would bring Sutton in and Sutton would kind of be like that, that wild card, if you will. There's my light acting up again, guys. I think I know what I have to do. I'm going to have to get me another light, guys. This my current ring light, I think, is on the fritz. So I actually have another light on the way, man. So, hopefully we don't have to go through this again. But let's get back to what I was saying. Yeah, we couldn't lose both of those guys. And I'm already giving you guys a hint as to one of the biggest, I think that's going to be one of the biggest, losses to date will be Mike Hilton, and we'll talk about it in a moment. So we had to definitely retain Cam Sutton. I like Cam Sutton, man. I like Cam Sutton as a cover guy. And he sticks his nose in there a little bit in the run game. I don't know if he's going to be as effective, and I can almost say he's probably not going to be as effective as Mike Hilton was in the run game. We're probably not going to see as many blitzes with him. I would prefer not with him because, again, I like him in coverage. Cam Sutton has done quite a few things for us in coverage. So, I think that's going to suit him well, but he definitely has an opportunity here to make some money. If he balls out in the inside, let's say Joe Hayden leaves next year, maybe we slide him on the outside because we know he can play both, and he'll have the opportunity to earn some money and still be relatively young. So, good signing. Definitely needed him since we were not able to retain Mike Hilton. Next up, this is a big loss for us right here, folks. I think this is a bigger loss than most people would give it credit for. Tyson Alualu has signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars. As I'm reading it here, it's 2 years for $6 million. Now, again, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna have any words for Tyson Alualu. And as I say that, let me confirm something really quick, guys. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Tyson Alualu is about 34 years old, 33, 34. Let me see if I can confirm that. He's 33, all right? He's born in May. He will be turning 34 this season. So let's look at it from that side of the table, right? And then I'm going to count on my own point. He's aged. How much more, tread is on those tires? How much is left in the tank? Whatever, scenario you want to paint there, whatever, whatever type of, an analogy you want to give, you could ask that question. And you could say, okay, the Steelers, maybe you don't want to spend a few million on a guy at that age, defensive player, yada, yada, yada. Fair. However, there's two things that's going to counter that point. You have to take a look at the amount of money that he's being paid. That's not a whole lot. And I don't know how Jacksonville constructs their deals, but it doesn't seem like it would have been an expensive situation for the Steelers. They could have definitely structured that. If he's only getting $6 million for 2 years, I'm pretty sure they could have done what they did with Cam Sutton, to make it work with a signing bonus and all of that. Here's another thing that counters the point. Did y'all see how well he played last season? Did y'all see that? I mean, this guy played very well last season. Very well. Very well. And as again, guys, I'm looking at this notification here. Y'all forgive me. I don't know if that's in real time. And I don't think it is, man. So, guys, this is exactly why I'm getting away from Streamlabs OBS, because it does nonsense like that. So I'm going to cut it. Well, I'll leave it on. Whatever. It's not that distracting, right? But it looks like King Arthur is loading up and giving me that guap. But anyway, listen, man. The kid played well for us. I love Tyson Alualu, man, as a backup guy. He's very serviceable. Did a lot of things for us in the run game. Showed up sometimes in the pass game. I think we're going to miss him, man. I think we're really going to miss him when you look at the depth that we have or don't have right now. I really think that we're going to miss a Tyson Alualu. Now, we'll have to look down the roster. We'll have to look at guys like Bugs. We'll have to look at guys like Carlos Davis and see if they can step up and be what we need them to be. It's the only thing you can kind of surmise is, listen, they're going to have to step up. Maybe there's a guy that the Steelers are able to find in the draft, a later round pick or an undrafted guy. But bottom line, you're losing a significant piece of that defense. And I say significant because, again, when you have rotational pieces like him, huge loss. Huge loss. And think about how he had to fill in when we were dealing with injury and huge loss, man. Let's move on, guys. We had good pace. What we had, 20 minutes? Oh, yeah, we doing good. We're going to be in and out here tonight. Next up. Vince Williams. Vince Williams has been relieved of his duties with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He is now unemployed. We'll see how long that lasts. I want to give him a huge shout out, man. Listen, watching Vince Williams in college, most of you guys know who I love as a college football team, even though we haven't been that great in here years of late. But seeing him in college, man, and, kind of seeing him make it to us and, definitely understanding that Timmons was the better of the two, in terms of, Florida State guys, and just didn't, I didn't expect him to be what he has been. He's been able to stick around. I think he found a nice home in Pittsburgh, and he found his style of play and did what he had to do for us. I know people criticize him in coverage and all that, but that's not his game. Vince Williams was that guy, and I'm going to say it in the name of my brother Tony here in the chat. That was a dude that be out there busting. Vince Williams would knock your head off, and he played like that each and every down. He played like that. Gotta love it, man. And you know what? I am going to cut this notification off. It is driving me crazy. But anyway, there is a real donation that I see here. So shout outs to Shadow Slayer, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you, man. You way too kind. And let me read your comment, and then I'll get back to what I was saying. He says, Sim, I know the Steelers lost some key people. That's football. I watched football for a while, and I believe the Steelers will be fine. And what's your biggest need after our free agents walk? I definitely will address that, man. I will say this. I don't know right now what the biggest need is. As it stands today, I would still say offensive line is probably the biggest need. Again, whether you hate them or love them, these guys were in the lineup. Pouncey, Feiler, now we got to find another piece. We don't know what's going to happen with Big Al. He's probably going to be a guy that's going to perhaps be cut as well. Or not cut, but he's a free agent, right? Can you get him back on a cheap deal? Maybe, but how many of us still have the same belief in Big Al, right? But if it's not him, who do you replace him with? What if you miss in the draft? I think offensive line by far is the biggest need as it stands right now. No question about it. We'll see what happens, though, because there's still some people we got to hear about. What's going to happen with Juju now? I think Juju going to get paid. I really do, because if you look at Corey Davis and others, Nelson Aguilars of the world, Juju going to earn some money, man. And I don't know if it's with us or not. And apparently there's rumors out there, or, reports rather, that he's been informing his teammates that he probably won't be back. So that's another blow. It is. Whether you guys hate or love Juju, that is a blow. That is a significant blow to the offense. I want you guys to really go back and watch the games when Juju made a difference. Last season, even though he wasn't the most highly targeted guy and Ben was spreading the ball around, Juju did a lot of things, man. The grunt work, the conversions, the yak. Think about them games where it looks like he's almost on the ground and he stumbles forward for 10 yards. And we're going to miss that. His blocking, just his persona on the field. I know everybody want to get on him for dancing and being TikTok this, TikTok that. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all a little secret. Y'all know what Juju's doing? It's what he's been doing since his rookie season. Building a brand. Okay? Where everybody's getting on him for TikToking and all of that. Juju is racking in the dollars outside of football. Go look at his YouTube channel now. Remember when he first started? Go look at how many subscribers he has now. Juju's no dummy. So I laugh when people criticizing him for first of all, 24-year-old things, I would say, and I'm not even calling him young. I'm just saying he's a young man having fun. But in the meantime, what y'all don't know, in the background, he's making money off of that on the side. Everything ain't what you think it is when you see something. It's not always what appears to be on the surface. So I applaud him. But I'm going to tell y'all, we're going to miss him. If he's gone, love Claypool. I told y'all I think Deontay Johnson is our certified number one receiver if he continues to just catch the ball. Excuse me. Or let's say if he can get rid of not dropping, if he can not continue to drop the football, he is the de facto number one receiver for us. No question about it. The route running, the separation, all of that. The chemistry with Ben, he plays the AB role for the current Steelers. So I like what we have in him. Then there's James Washington. I still like James Washington, but James Washington kind of got pushed to the back because Claypool started to perk up. But now we're talking about finding another receiver. Ray McLeod ain't really that guy unless we're going to work him more in the slot and get him more involved. But now we still talking about another receiver. If Juju leaves, who plays the Juju role? When we in 11 personnel, who becomes the slot guy now? Some people are going to naturally say Deontay Johnson, but no, you don't want to put him in the slot. You want him to be the guy that can beat man coverage on the outside. Like a basketball analogy, get his own shot, if you will. You want that guy. You want a guy that can create his own situation when he's quote unquote covered. That's your Deontay Johnson. You want him to be your X. You might slide Claypool inside. That could work. And then obviously, I think James Washington is a natural Z. I'm just saying, you're going to miss him when he's gone. Shout outs to Miss Odessa. Appreciate you, Miss Odessa. Thank you for the donation. Really appreciate that. And we have another one here, man. Rajon39. Thank you as well. Let me read your comment. He says, bring Bell back and cut Samuel. You know what? I don't want Bell back. I'll be honest with y'all. I don't know if Bell is still Bell. Bell is what now? Is he 30? Close to it? Let me see. What is Bell now? I think he's at least 28, 29. Let me see. Let's see what Le'Veon Bell. Left Bell. 29. Just turned 29. An old boy. I ain't going to do that. I'm not going to talk about this man's personal life, but I was just going to say he got a lot going on out there. Some of y'all may have seen it. But, I'm good, man. I'm good. I love Le'Veon Bell. I love what he was in his prime. I'm good right now. I mean, unless he coming back on the cheap, okay. And again, we ain't got the same offensive line. You know what I'm saying? And you saw what his life was like when he was with the Jets, with not having the same offensive line. Couldn't even, honestly, this ain't no shot, but it's the truth. He couldn't get, what's his name off the field in Kansas City. What's my man's name? Hilaire Edwards. Oh, Edwards Hilaire. I don't know which way is which. I probably transposed that, but y'all know who I'm talking about. Couldn't get him off the field. So what's he gonna be? You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool off of Le'Veon Bell. Hello, Miss Debbie. I see Miss Debbie in the chat. Hello. I missed you earlier, so I wanted to say hello to you as well. But yeah, let's keep it moving, guys. Who was I talking about, y'all? I was talking about... Who was I talking about? I think I'm done, but Juju. So yeah, you're gonna miss Juju when he's gone. That's all I'm saying. And it looks like he's probably gonna be gone again. When you look at the money that Corey Davis got, you look at Nelson Aguilar, and boy, by the way, y'all know how we always getting on the Steelers and saying, oh man, it's weird. They usually stick it to their ways, but the last few years we've changed a little bit, right? With the Minka trade and trading up to get Bush and signing Steven Nelson. Y'all know who else is looking like he's out of his way and doing things that he don't normally do? Big Bad Belichick. Boy, oh boy. Y'all see what they doing in New England? Y'all see what they doing in that tight end position? Yeah, they paying some money out there. That boy's spending money, but he got the cap. Oh, and speaking of that, let me reference that really quick before I close out with these last two people that I want to discuss. I see this from Steelers fans all the time. I have this conversation a lot of times with my father-in-law, Leonard. Shout outs to Leonard if he's in here. Steelers fans a lot of times are upset with Steelers cap situation and all that. I get it. And then the first thing you want to do is you say, well, look at this team. Look at how are they able to do that? And how can they do that? And I don't get it. Let me make it very easy and very simple for you guys. Here's the first thing you should always know. Every NFL owner in the NFL are fully aware of how much cap space they have. Whether that's the guy on the staff that's telling them, but they all are following the same rules. You understand what I'm saying? It's impossible for one team to finagle and earn all this cap space while this other team can't. The cap space is what it is. So you don't have to keep saying, how can they do? Obviously, they're able to do that because of the way they structure their deals. That's number one. Teams structure their deals differently. Steelers, we know how they do theirs. They don't give a lot of guarantee, and a lot of times they're going to throw that big signing bonus up at you and split it over time and yada, 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 and that's pretty much your guaranteed money. We know how they do it. But it's all based on how they structure the deals. And I know sometimes it makes it seem like, well, this team always got money. We don't never have money. Well, let me get to the next point. It's called Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger has now made an excess of $250 million. Made. Not just contract given. He's made that. And after this season, I think that goes up to 260 something. Right? It's called having a $100 million quarterback on your roster for the majority of his career. That's where a lot of your cap space is at, folks. Cap situation will be a lot different next season. Not all teams have that, right? You look at some of these teams that are able to sign all these people, and they don't really have New England ain't really got no crazy contracts they paying right now, so they had a bunch of cap space. You got to look at things like that. And again, I don't expect everybody to get into the ins and out of it and the weeds of it because, listen, I don't really study cap either. But there's websites that you can literally track the NFL. The records are public where they show you where people are as far as cap space and transactions and all of that. So you can. It's just it just baffles me sometimes, man, how Steelers feel like that we're being picked on and something. Like, listen. The Rooneys know what the cap space is, just like every other owner. There's nobody else that's getting an advantage on the Steelers. They just don't know that there's untapped cap space. No, man. It comes down to how the organization does their business and what current contracts they have on their roster. And the way the Steelers do their contracts, a lot of times we get into this trouble because we're known for kicking the can down the road. That's what we do with the big time contracts. And as circumstances will have it, sometimes you find yourself in a situation like, oh, we can't kick the can any further. We just got to bite it this time. And that's it. That's it in a nutshell. Couple more things, man, and I'm going to grab a couple calls and I'm going to get out of here, man. I told you guys I have a lot of stuff I have to handle tonight here. Trying to spruce up the house, man. Painter coming. I got new stuff down here. Just got the floors done and, all of those lovely, unlovely things that happen when you have a home, man. Okay. It's water time. Here's the one that's about to get y'all fired up. In the words of my good brother Kenyon, 48 got paid. 48. Bud Dupree, as most of you guys would know him. Listen, man. It don't get no sweeter than that for Bud Dupree. I'm going to keep it very short and sweet. We knew he wasn't going to come back. I know people were saying franchise tag him, but once again, y'all are forgetting about that thing called cap space. He played on the tag last season. How much did he make? $16 million. How much do you think it would have been this year? Steelers ain't spending that up front again. Oh, he should take a pay cut because he's injured. No, that's not how it works. We knew he wasn't coming back, but here's the catch. That boy got paid. 5 years and up to $85 million. 5 years and up to $85 million as a max. Guaranteed 35. This is a guy who is currently rehabbing an ACL. And you get paid like that? Of course you're going to take that deal. Because the Steelers won't go match it anyway. We all know that. But the winner here clearly is Bud Dupree. And I know what people are going to say. Man, they should take a discount and stay with us. Listen, guys, it's a business, man. We can't get so wrapped up in our feelings. It's a business. This is a business. It doesn't determine how much Bud Dupree hates or loves Pittsburgh. I'm sure he has a very fond, he's very fond of Pittsburgh. We drafted him. He's made money since he's been with us. He has friends. Him and TJ Watt were close. But that doesn't mean anything. It's a business because, again, I've seen people ripping him. And I'm like, are y'all serious? This dude was on a team that doesn't have a lot of cap space, got injured while playing on the tag, and gets offered the bag. Why wouldn't he take the bag? Happy for him, man. Listen, no hard feelings. It's a business. Everybody has not been Roethlisberger, meaning that you get to stay with the same team forever. Shoot, Tom Brady, who did he just win a championship with? After being with New England how many years? Sometimes it comes to that. Now, of course, he probably should have retired, in theory. But it happens. Everybody don't get to retire with their team, the same team that drafted them. To use another basketball analogy, because, this guy's always on my mind, and it's so sad that he's no longer here with us. Everybody's not Kobe Bryant. Well, you play all them years for one squad. Everybody ain't that. That's the business. And the players understand that. So when fans are sitting there saying, man, they should have took the discount, man, and oh man, F him now because he's gone. Huh? Be happy for them. They played for us. They played their hearts out, especially Mike Hilton, who I'm going to talk about here next. Played his heart out. How you going to hate him for getting the bag? So anyway, man, shout outs to Bud Dupree. These are all moves that we all expected. Now let's wrap it up with Mike Hilton. Mike Hilton, I'm going to get on you for one little thing. The Bengals? The Bengals? Again, if they offered him the bag, because I don't know his particulars, I don't think it's out there yet. Somebody can correct me in the chat. Is it out there? Do we know what what his contract is? I'm looking in the chat. Y'all let me know if y'all have seen it. I don't know. But the Bengals, because the reports was that you said you wanted to go to a winner. Let's be honest. The Bengals could be on a come up. I like what they're doing with Joe Burrow. Hopefully he comes back healthy, for his career. But the Bengals are arguably, some people are putting us in this seat. Let's be honest. Some people are putting us as the worst team in the division. But the Bengals are arguably the worst team in the division. You just look at what Cleveland and what Baltimore did last year. And then, of course, I don't see a 12-4 team out of us just yet. But the Bengals, they must have gave him the bag. Oh, there it is. 4 years, $26 million. Okay, I don't know what his guaranteed money is, but boy got the bag. He got the bag. I ain't mad at him. Didn't I tell y'all a couple weeks ago when I said, I seen Mike Hilton with his lady, They was on vacation, and every day he was writing 12 days, 11 days, 10 days, 9 days. He was counting down. He already knew what was coming, so I'm not mad at him. He went for the bag. Get the bag, bro. Get the bag. But yeah, man, it's tough losses for us, man. I mean, again, we're going to have some significant changes. No Feiler, no Alualu, no Hilton, no Vince Williams. Of course, we knew Bud would be gone. These are significant losses, and we still don't know what's going to happen with Juju Smith-Schuster. Excuse me. Dare I say, guys, I told you so. I told you that the new day was coming, and it was coming very soon. So, listen, man. It's about to test your real fanism very soon here. But let me get to my phone call, man. I see we got, looks like Mr. Winningham in the queue, my good buddy 803. How you doing tonight, sir?
Good evening. How you doing tonight?
Good.
Mike Hilton really surprised me. I looked down at, on Facebook, it's showing where everybody going. And I look down and I see this orange and black. I said, what? Mike Hilton going to the Bengals?
That's crazy.
That's not, a lot of guys from Pittsburgh over the years have made the mistake of going to certain teams and thinking, okay, I'm going to be making my money, but their careers haven't,
Mm-hmm.
Their careers didn't reflect that. So, James Harrison went to the Bengals. He eventually came back to Pittsburgh. That was a good thing. So it doesn't shock me that we lost a lot of players. You probably too young to remember when we went to the Super Bowl against Dallas, and we lost a lot of guys. We lost a lot of guys that year, including Rod Woodson. So I guess it's really going to make us focus on the draft, and we know that offensive line will be one of the areas that we will work on in the draft of trying to, find some of the best guys. But one area that concerns me the most, and I'll wrap it up, is the receiver room. Without Juju, we're losing a lot of leadership.
Yeah, man.
Somebody's going to have to grow up to be number one. Somebody's going to have to be number two. We won't be able to depend on Juju for that leadership anymore. And he was only 24. So I hope we get somebody like a John Brown who just left Buffalo. Right now, like you said, the numbers are just astronomical. I didn't think that these guys would get this kind of numbers with salary cap going down so far. So, you mentioned, what's his name, the former Philadelphia Eagle. This guy couldn't catch
Aguilar.
A
Yeah.
Aguilar. He can get cold. Look how much money he gets. So we just don't know. Thank you very much. Hope everybody have a great week.
Oh, man. Thank you as well, Mr. Winningham. Always appreciate you coming through. And looks like that might be the only call of the night, guys. So I said I wanted to get under an hour tonight, and I think I'm going to get there. We're at 43 minutes, so I'll spend a little bit of time in the chat, man, then we'll wrap up. But, yeah, I mean, listen, guys like Mr. Winningham, man, and, I know there's a couple, guys who call here that are older than me. They had the pleasure of seeing the glory days. I didn't, as far as like the 70s. They remember. They've seen the ups and downs. Even Tony. Tony will tell you. Tony remembers the times, man, when Steelers were just, in the dumps for a while. They remember the ups and downs. So me and Tony talked about this a few years ago, saying, look, man, Ben he's getting close to the end. And, of course, that time is coming. You would expect that this would be the last season. And with that, sometimes you also see a decline of your team overall, because this is why it happens that way. You try to put the best roster on the field, especially when you have a veteran quarterback, and not even just veteran. You got your franchise guy, right? You want to give him as many pieces, both offensively and defensively, as possible. But you only get these guys for like an average of 3 years. When it all gels, because it's not likely that you're going to get all the pieces together as rookies. You might have a guy who's entering his second year that's starting to blossom. One guy entering his third year that's starting to blossom. And then you got a rookie or two to come in, and that core group plays together for maybe 2-3 years. Then you got to retool. And that's what we're seeing happen here. Okay, the Steelers. Listen, look at all that list of free agents. It's just one of those years. So this could be a season, man, where we're just crawling our way back. If there's a thin line, or if if there's a positive, the silver lining from this whole situation, we're probably going to get some decent comp picks for next year's draft. You would expect Ben Roethlisberger retires, according to the way they did the contract and all, and contract voids, yada, yada, yada. We're going to have way more money to work with. You would expect, most people are even anticipating next year, the cap will go back up. Now we out here. Now we got some things that we can work with. We can, sign enough, serviceable pieces, or maybe go get, a real free agent. When I say real, I'm talking about one of market value, like when we did with Nelson. And you'll just have more money to work with, and you get more draft picks, and we'll start that rebuild process. But I want everybody to prepare and brace themselves, man, that this could be one of those seasons that's a little turbulent, man. It could be. Because you're not going to fill all these holes. Ain't no way. But we got to make sure we hit in the draft. Real quick, too, before I go, man, I wanted to apologize to you guys, man. Last week, we had a lovely steel table, man, with Tony and Kenyon. But unfortunately, I tried to be so giving to you guys, and I wanted to show you guys film. As you would know, that part of the show got hit with a copyright warning, so I had to cut out that part of the video. So a lot of you guys missed our full analysis on the running back, so maybe we will brush up on that again in the next steel table. But I'll be really brief here. What I said, man, is primarily there's 3 guys at the top. And I don't think either of these guys are still there in our second round pick. So let's just assume we don't move up, because, again, I don't want to give away any draft picks because we need them. Right? Neither one of these guys they probably won't make it down to 55. So you're talking about having to pick one of these guys first. My analysis is this. I like Javonte Williams the most. I said on the show last week, and I think this part is still on, still captured. I love his demeanor. I just love everything about him. His demeanor, like just his mentality. You ain't tackling the boy on the first tackle. Give it up. He has that mentality of you're not putting me down yet. I'm getting where I need to go. And bring you and your boys if y'all want me to get on the ground. He can make you move. He has deceptive speed. Can catch a little bit out of the backfield. I love everything about him. Now, after I said that, I went back and watched some more Alabama games. And listen, I ain't going to be crying over spilled milk if we pick Najee. Najee's nice too now. And Kenya said it best. These 3 guys have separated themselves. They're pretty much 1A, 1B, 1C, and the third guy, of course, would be Travis Etienne. I personally think Etienne would be my third pick, my third option, only because I think we could get that style of play out of Anthony McFarland. Let's not forget he's on the roster. I think we can get an Etienne style of play from Anthony McFarland. So that would allow me to prefer Javonte Williams, who's my number 1. Number 2, Najee Harris. And I think if it's going to happen, they're going to probably have to do it at 24. Here's what I don't want to happen. And, you never know. The guy could pan out, but I don't want us to skip these guys and then go hunting and picking and searching late, in later rounds, third round or so for a running back. Unless there are a couple guys out there that okay. A Trey Sermon might be sitting there in the third round. I'll take it. Come hither. I'll take a Trey Sermon. But some of those other guys, and Michael Carter. Michael Carter, the other kid from North Carolina, he's maybe a certain type of guy. But again, I kind of feel like, you could get that kind of production, that kind of style, similar style. You could probably produce that from Anthony McFarland. So that's why I'm not really, going after those type of guys with the quick speed and all that and the shiftiness, because we got a dude on the roster that can do that. I want the other guy. I want the all-around guy with a little size, power, all of that. And you got that clearly with your Najee Harris, your Javonte Williams, and on a lesser scale, Trey Sermon. So that's how I think it's going to go, man. I think the Steelers will have to get one of those guys early. So we'll see who it's going to be. Again, my vote is Javonte Williams with Najee Harris being right there. And again, that's just my opinion, folks. I know some people prefer Williams and some people prefer Harris. Some people prefer ETN. This is just my opinion. I'm not saying I would be disappointed with any of those guys. I'm just explaining to you why I like one more so than the other in terms of who I would pick first if you force me to. So that was really the gist of it. But yeah, that's all I got, man. Anything else you guys want to say? I'll give you guys about another 3 minutes. We're at 50 minutes now, so, I guess I didn't stay, less than an hour. But as long as I get out of here before the hour, I'm good. Is Dobbs back? I don't think so. He's probably going to walk as well. We haven't re-signed anybody realistically yet, worth noting. I mean, Robert Spillane, which that's worth noting because now right now as it stands, Robert Spillane is the starter. Him and Devin Bush. Marcus Allen re-signed, and we just talk about Cam Sutton. Cam Sutton is probably one of the more notable, but other than that, I haven't heard anything else yet. Yep. So yeah, Mike Hilton, man. Oh, and Zach Banner. Yep. Slid Red said the same thing. Spillane, Allen, and Sutton were signed, and Zach Banner. I haven't watched Bolton, Kenyon. I see that you said you watched both of them, so I need to take a peek at him. Oh, let me just tell you this. and again, Kenyon, was like, yo, check this guy out, which we all know to watch him anyway. He just got injury history. Boy, that Landon Dickerson, wow. It's just risky, man, with having ACLs and both knees. Like, he's got that injury history with that dude. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe if he falls low enough, you might pull the trigger and take a chance. Just, man. And most of that line, and Kenya was letting me know the kid, who was the one I was telling you about, Kenya? I think number 55. I think he's a sophomore. He's a guard. He going to be special. He already special. So by the time he is eligible and he comes out, yeah. But yeah, it was quite a few dudes, man, I saw on that line. Even the backup center in a couple games I watched, when Dickerson was out, was not playing. Yeah. But I haven't really watched many of those guys now. I think I'm about to definitely turn that up now that, we lost another offensive lineman. So you got to keep that in mind. Why Diggy says depth on edge is a need too. Big time. We literally have nobody. There's really nobody behind. There's nobody behind TJ and what's that guy? Highsmith. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Ola's gone too, right? That would be perfect, man. Tony. Zaven Collins and Javonte Williams, man, you talk about a blessing being answered. That'd be phenomenal. Piece of Bacon says, for the love of God, do not take Harris at 24. Okay, I respect that. If you can, man, before I sign off, Piece of Bacon, if you could elaborate a little bit. What turns you off about Najee, but also why are you saying not at 24? Because it might not necessarily be him. You might just feel like don't take, a back at 24. So I would like to just hear a little more from you, if you didn't mind going into that. Mr. Winningham, you are absolutely correct. We have to replace Tyson. That's big, man. Slid Red says he agrees with Baker. Yeah, I'm just curious to, to hear his thought process. That's all. I don't disagree. I just would love to hear, a little more on why you feel that way. Kenya says Bowden is lesser version of Bush. Okay. Don't bring Chick-fil-A. Who is Chick-fil-A? Mr. Ab says, Sim, do you think Hilton will keep the Steelers' knowledge to his vest or embrace the Bengals culture and AFC North rivalry and let it all out? Maybe stick it to Pittsburgh for never fully committing. I mean, I would expect him to, any little secrets and tips that he can put out there, yeah. I mean, you playing for the Bengals now. You want to beat Pittsburgh. You don't want Pittsburgh to succeed. So I would expect him to give Joe Burrow and the offense a full rundown of how that defense works. Absolutely. And he should. Again, I know fans will say, that's messed up. No, it's not. That's called warfare. It's warfare. Let's see. Jordan Mid says, you want to hear this reason? Also, we need a franchise running back. He said, yeah. Oh, you said, yeah, you want to hear his reason. Yeah, I'm just curious. And that's what I love. I love the conversations that we have here. That's why I'm just asking Bacon. Okay, there it is. He says, yeah, our focus needs to be on the O-line in the first round. If a solid back can fall to us in the second, I'm all for it. But we need to solidify our offensive line before we get a running back. And see, Pizza, that's a perfect reason. And that's why I asked you to explain it, because what I like to do a lot of times, guys, is just to get us kind of talking and, kind of give a little analogy on why we feel a certain way, because I respect that. I love when people do that. What I don't always pay most attention to is when if people just hit you with the one-liners like, oh, that guy sucks. No, he's trash. I don't want him. No, that'd be dumb. No, that would be the worst decision ever. And they don't say why. So thank you, piece of bacon. That's all. I just wanted to hear your thoughts. And I fully agree. I think, unfortunately, though, I do believe if we talking about Pittsburgh, Kevin Colbert and the guys, right? I sternly believe that they're going to, if one of those dudes are there, and maybe they don't have Williams as high on their radar. We'll see. If they at those pro days, let's keep an eye on that, because they were Kevin Colbert, Tomlin, and Matt Canada was at ETN's pro day, for Clemson. Let's pay attention to that. If they go to North Carolina and Alabama, then all of them dudes are in play. And I would only believe that they're ranked high on their board. And especially if James Conner goes. If one of them dudes is sitting there in the first round, I think the trigger is pulled by Pittsburgh. I think they might feel like they can get an offensive lineman later on. Because it's possible that, the Eckenbergs and the Verrill Tucker, guys like that, the dudes who are projected to be the higher picks, they could be out of there by then. They could be gone. So I think there's a better chance that one of the three of those running backs is sitting there. And I think the Steelers will go that direction. They would say, well, listen, this is a better player as far as the grade. We can't leave a guy like this on the board. We'll come back in the second round and look for an offensive lineman. I think that's what's going to happen. Or they might wait and get an offensive lineman later. One of the guys that, are being knocked for being with a, small school or something like that. I think that might happen. So, but great analogy there, Bacon. I couldn't disagree with that at all. I love that thought process. I firmly believe, and I even mentioned this year, when, me and Leonard and others, we talked about the run game. I always said, look, man, it's not Benny Snell. It's not James Conner. Are they the greatest running backs? No. But oftentimes when I showed film on Tuesdays, oftentimes what happened was they meeting them dudes in the backfield. The offensive line, it don't matter who's back there. Unless you got Barry Sanders, and till this day, I don't know how he was able to do it. If you don't got nobody blocking for you, I don't care what kind of skills you got back there. So, good analogy, man. Let me read one more before I get out of here. Dante Harris says, we have to get a running back or linebacker in round one. And second, Dotson showed them don't get too aggressive with offensive line. That's a great point, Dante. See, and that's the kind of stuff, guys, that we have to be prepared, right? We have to be prepared to allow the front office and the coaching staff and the scouts to do their job. You know what I'm saying? they might have their eyes on somebody else that they think can be a good player for them. I think Kevin Dotson is going to be phenomenal. He's going to be fantastic, I think. I really do. I really think he's going to turn into an excellent offensive lineman, and look at where you got him. So, great point. But all right, guys, I think I'm going to call it. We're right at the hour, and before I go, let me say this for you guys who are here live. Thank you for the viewership, number one, man. It's 179 people viewing right now. I really appreciate when it's a lot of live viewers. Let me throw this out here, and I'll pause for a moment and see how you guys feel about this. I have gotten some feedback from, a lot of viewers. Some of them have said they may not watch again because, they don't like that when they try to watch the video, on the replay, there's a ton of commercials and ads. Can I be honest and open and frank with you guys? I'm a monetized channel. That happens on pretty much every channel that's monetized. Right? That's how you make money. I have no shame in saying that. However, I do have the option. I can cut off ads, but then again, let's be honest. I'm going to be, again, 100% honest with y'all. I'm not a large enough channel. I don't get enough views to where I can forego the ads. You understand what I'm saying? I don't get enough views to where my view revenue is worth the time. So, unfortunately, I run ads just like most YouTubers do because, again, that's how you get paid. Here's what I have to propose. There's a new feature on YouTube that I've been thinking about, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do it, but I might as well announce it here live so you guys know what it entails. There's an option for you to join a channel, right? And be a member, right? You can still do everything that y'all do here. It won't affect any of that. But basically what it does is if you decided to join, you pay like a small amount per month. I know. Let me explain it before y'all go crazy. I think I set mine for like $4.99, very cheap. But basically what I could do for those who prefer to watch the show without ads, my thought process was, okay, what I could do is re-upload the show separately and make it for members only. And if you are someone who subscribes as a member, I'll completely take the ads off of that replay so you can watch it that way. Everyone else, you can enjoy the channel the way you do now. Won't cost you a dime. But the reason why I hadn't introduced that to you guys was because I was sitting here thinking like, okay, I like the membership idea, but I'm not going to do it until there's something that I really can offer to my viewers. I'm not going to be one of them people that's just going to, now you can join the channel and pay this, but I ain't giving you nothing. So because of you guys' feedback, that was something I said, that's a good idea. That'll kind of be a way for me to offer a ad-free experience. So for you guys who watch it live, doesn't matter to y'all, right? Because I would assume there's no commercials here as it's live. This would only apply to those who want to watch the repeat. And if I did that, I would announce it, obviously, on the show. Hey, if you want to watch an ad-free version of this afterwards, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. What do you guys think about that? Give me your honest opinion. Y'all let me know. I need you guys' honest opinion. How does that sound for you guys? And also, that might be something that I might have to end up doing, too, for film study. We got away with it for the most part last season. The NFL only caught me on one video. but we'll talk about that kind of stuff later. But how do you guys feel about that? Honest opinion. All right, it ain't no bag. I see my man say, get your bag. It ain't no bag yet, bro. I ain't got to that point yet. But I really would love to know what you guys think about. I think that would be a good compromise because, again, if I'm going to do a membership type of thing, I want to be able to offer members something, right? So that's why I've held off. I mean, I've been holding on to that for like months. I could have been cut that on, but I'm like, I'm not doing it just because. I want to find unique things that I could offer to members. While guys like you all that, want to enjoy the experience the way it is, you don't have to pay anything extra and you're not missing anything. You know what I mean? Deb said, "Get your money, bro." Yeah, see, like for everyone who's here right now, this ain't gonna affect any of y'all. Y'all here live and in color, and anytime I'm live streaming, because I'm gonna start doing that too, because I realized with the Madden videos, I got another one to cut up. Sometimes it takes me a good amount of time to edit, so I think I might start just streaming those games, right? So anybody who's watching this live, this won't affect you whatsoever. So let me make that clear. Anyone watching right now, it will not affect your experience at all. This would only be an alternative option for those who watch it post live show and they want to watch the show without having the ads pop up. So essentially there would be two options. This and the normal replay with ads, and then there would be a second upload of the exact same show, right? I'll just download a copy, upload it, make that one for members only, and then if they are a member to the channel, which I think it'll be $4.99 a month, I will cut all the ads off of that video and they're able to watch it ad-free. That's the option. And all y'all saying keep the ads, so we'll see. So yeah, because it's not going to affect any of you all, I think that will be the alternative that I'll offer to those folks. And if they prefer to be members and want to pay $4.99 a month to have no ads, and look, Ma, no ads. That was too easy, right? But yeah, let's get back to oh, hold on. One thing. Debbie says, remember, Sim, I miss shows working. I would pay the membership if needed or watch the ads as long as you get your views, because we get great content. Oh, Debbie, I appreciate that. But see, the thing with you, Debbie, is what you would do is you would watch the replay as normal. You wouldn't even have to worry about the membership. You see what I mean? You would just watch this on replay because that would still be there. The ad-free version would be so totally different thing for those who have paid to be the member. See what I'm saying? So, like I said, all of you guys that are here, it does not affect y'all at all. But, okay, so I think I have my decision, man, and I think you guys have helped me with that. However, one last thing. Debbie just reminded me. I want to offer this to Debbie's here, Lanisha's here, Destiny is here. Had another great idea, in my opinion, and I shared it with Debbie. And I'll share it with you guys. Because, see, Debbie, thinking about everyone else like always. I would like to do an all-female panel. I would like to do an all-female panel one night. Won't call it the Steel Table, or I would probably call it something else that represents the ladies, and I would simply be the moderator. I won't say much. I will let you guys come on. I will have a few topics to throw at y'all, and I sit back and let y'all chop it up. I would love to know how that sounds. And Odessa, if Odessa is in here, please let me know if you guys are interested in that. You gals are interested in that. I think that would be great. I think that would be great. And we could do that, here and there if you wanted it to be more than just one time. Again, I'm all about including you all, my Steeler family. I don't want it to just always be me, the talking head. I want to include you guys. So please let me know if y'all would be interested in that, because I would love to have you all on. So again, any of the ladies in the chat, if y'all are interested, please send me an email. It's very simple. SimFBallCritic, same name as the channel. SimFBallCritic@gmail.com. You want to send me a DM on Twitter, same name there. But please let me know if you're interested, because I really would like to do that. I think that would be a special show. So please let me know. All right. That's all I got. Hope everybody is great. Hope everybody is well. Be safe. Be blessed. And catch you guys next time. And don't cry too much, guys. Actually, one other thing. There may be a couple pop-up shows here this week if something crazy breaks. Maybe, I won't hold the Juju news until next week or anything else. So y'all might see some impromptu shows this week. So stay tuned for that. But other than that, man, guys, let's get through it. We'll be okay. We'll be okay. We got to watch our guys rebuild. All right. So again, y'all stay safe, stay blessed, have a good night, and I'm out. Peace.